Trouble in paradise, y'all. We got some trouble in paradise. Fox News hosts are apparently now going at it over Biden being heckled during the State of the Union address. This is interesting. We had some dialogue on it back and forth when we did the live stream. It was myself and the Breaking Points crew, and I was in cranky grandpa Kyle mode saying, like, just www.shuddy.org. And Sagar was like, I don't know, I kind of like it when it's, loud and obnoxious and, these guys are, it shows like vibrant debate or whatever. That was not my take. So anyway, Steve Doocy versus Brian Kilmeade. I have not watched this clip yet. I hope this headline does not disappoint. What I will tell you is, I'll tell you this. My prediction is Kilmeade is going to be the one like, yeah, go after Biden because he's lying and you got to say he's lying, bro. And Doocy's going to be like, okay, but norms, civility, you guys look psycho. It's not helping the brand of the Republicans. It's helping the Democrats, et cetera. So anyway, all right, let's go ahead and dive into it, and we'll break it down as we go.
If you didn't watch last night, the headline this morning is there were a lot of back and forth moments between Democrats and Republicans, between the president and Republicans. Republicans started fighting back and booing and chanting and standing up and yelling things
crazy
if they disagreed with something he said, if they thought that he wasn't telling the truth. One of the biggest moments was when he talked about Medicare and Social Security. We knew he was probably going to say this going up to it. If you watched any of our shows, we were all saying he's going to say that Republicans want to get rid of your Social Security. They want to get rid of your Medicare. Right. Well, he did that, and Republicans were prepared. Watch their reaction.
Some of my Republican friends want to take the economy hostage. I get it, unless I agree to their economic plans. All of you at home should know what those plans are. Instead of making the wealthy pay their fair share, some Republicans want Medicare and Social Security to sunset. I'm not saying it's a majority.
It is a majority. It is a majority.
Let me give you, anybody who doubts it, contact my office. I'll give you a copy. I'll give you a copy of the proposal.
That's right.
That means Congress doesn't vote. Well, I'm glad to see you. No, I tell you, I enjoy conversion.
Okay, so what he's talking about, Rick Scott had a suggestion about sunsetting Social Security and Medicare. That was just...
Steve Doocy? A little louder. You kind of, Rick Scott, who's a senator, actually proposed exactly the thing Biden's saying he proposed. No, Steve, let's talk about that a little bit, dog. Let's go through the provisions. What are we talking about here? I love how there's like, yeah, Biden's right. Anyway. Let's focus on the part where you should focus. That part. Okay, more.
One suggestion a while back, but we knew that Joe Biden was going to do this because he does it every time. He talks about how Republicans want to cut your Social Security and Medicare.
Yeah, why? Why does he talk about it all the time? Because they are in favor of it, and it is unpopular, and so he's going to hammer them on it. It's called good politics, and it's called accurate politics. I love this. They're like, it doesn't count. It doesn't even count, bro. Why doesn't it count? Well, it was a while ago, bro. It was so long ago, bro. They all still believe in it. By the way, I have more receipts for you, okay? And by the way, it's not just him. It wasn't just Rick Scott who released it in their literal official Republican agenda for the midterms. It was also a guy by the name of Ron Johnson. And I think he went further. One of them wanted to sunset it every year. The other one wanted to sunset it every 5 years. Others just want to do run-of-the-mill cuts, like raise the retirement age or reduce the payments. So all of them are in favor of cutting it to one extent or another. It's just how far do they go? And they're trying to downplay it. Not popular. We're bad and wrong on this. People don't like us on this. Just, bro, it was a while ago. It was a long time ago and stuff. It was like, what, 3 months ago that they proposed this, bro? What does it have to be proposed yesterday for you to care and for you to say it's legitimate for Biden to talk about this?
It really angers people. It's not true. But here's the thing. You could tell that was inserted in the speech because he wanted to bait the Republicans. And then he wanted to have some back and forth, and he did.
You think he wanted that?
Absolutely. You know why? Because he had a big smile on his face.
Well,
he
reacted in the room.
Interesting disagreement. So this didn't go as I thought it was going to go. I thought Doocy would say, hey, it's not civil for the Republicans to say that. And Kilmeade would say, no, it's appropriate. The argument is over whether or not Biden wanted the reaction from the Republicans. No, on this one, I'm 100% with Brian Kilmeade. He didn't want the reaction. He thought that would just be like, look, he's a little naive, even at this old age, Biden, where he thinks like, yeah, these guys are proposing cuts to Social Security. So if I say these guys want to cut Social Security, they're going to be like, yeah, we want to cut Social Security. But Biden doesn't factor in their wanton dishonesty. So when he accurately calls them out for what they want to do, they're like, no, that's not even true, bro. We want to like save Social Security and reform Social Security. What we mean by that is cut. But it's really saving it. So say we want to save it. Don't say we want to cut it. So I don't think Biden, you could tell Biden didn't want that back and forth because he was like, I'm not saying it's all of you. And look, I love a good conversion. I love going back and forth on this stuff. So he was like rattled by them doing it. So it was not on purpose. It was not on purpose. No way. Are you accusing Joe Biden of playing chess politically? He's not even playing checkers. He's not playing checkers. He's not playing solitaire. He's not playing pogs. He's like writing with his own poop on the wall. That's what he's doing.
So happy that the Republicans got ahead and jeered at him.
But they called him out on it. They said, I don't think he wanted it either.
That.
And let me tell you why, Steve, because he said the Republicans were yelling, we didn't want that, you're a liar. And then right. he has to be on the defensive.
He lost the talking point.
Exactly. And then he said, wait a minute. Oh, so y'all are on the same page as I am? So we agreed. He said, so I guess we all agree now? Let's discuss our mutual plans together. Right. And at that point, McCarthy stands up.
Right, because he said, okay, if that's off the table, now let's talk about the seniors. The reason I said that was Peter Doocy, and nobody has seen Joe Biden give more speeches than Peter Doocy over the last 5 years. Peter said you could tell the way that was written that he wanted to engage the Republicans. And ultimately he did. And what did he do? He got them to essentially say, okay, that's off the table. Now let's move on to Social Security.
So here's the thing. In the end, Biden went off script. I think he got feedback from Republicans he didn't want, and he wasn't expecting it. But in the end, it did work out for Biden because Biden made the point of like, oh, so I guess you do agree. Social Security and Medicare is off the table. Cool. I'll hold you to that. So ultimately, the exchange worked out. But let me tell you guys what's going to happen. They're going to go ahead and propose cuts to Social Security and Medicare in this debt ceiling fight. And then they're just going to lie that they're actually doing that. They're going to say, no, we're trying to save it. We're trying to reform it. We're trying to protect it in the long run. And if you're against this, you're in favor of cutting it or getting rid of it. So they're just going to lie about it now. Now, how do I know that? This is always what they've done. It's always what they've done. This is like, I'm not some sort of genius here. It's their playbook forever. So it worked out in the end, the optics for the public, the way Biden handled it, because he wrapped it up in a nice little bow at the end saying, okay, cool, we agree. I'll hold you to that. But they're just going to propose the same thing and act like they're not proposing it. That's all. Classic.
He knew that. He knew that wasn't even a debate. Kevin McCarthy in the afternoon said Medicare and Social Security are not in the conversation when it comes to the debt ceiling. Number two, it was Rick Scott. Rick Scott did this crazy thing and said Social Security is going to be bankrupt in 10 years. So he said, we have to look at this and reform it. And they said, oh, we got a talking point for the midterms. But actually, Rick Scott was actually being responsible. But
there we go. See, Brian Kilmeade's doing it too. So again, you act like they don't want to cut it at all. I don't even know what you're talking about. That's off the table. And then he's like, well, we really should cut it if we're being responsible. Which is it? You have to pick one. Those are contradictory. You have to. Now, of course, it's not responsible to cut Social Security. And he's soft pedaling the thing Rick Scott actually proposed. He proposed sunsetting it every single year. You know what that means? It's no longer mandatory spending. So that means the government would have to go back every year and go, yes, we approve payments for Social Security and Medicare. They would never do that every year, ever. You guys see the fight that comes every single time we just pass a standard budget. We barely get through. We're fighting over the debt ceiling, risking default of our entire country and the downgrading of our entire economy. There's no way they would approve it. And that's why he wants to do it. Because he doesn't want these programs. They want to get rid of these programs. They've been honest about it. Guys, they tried in 2004 under George W. Bush. They tried to privatize all of Social Security. Thankfully, that fell flat and it was a political loser for them. But they've been trying this forever. Paul Ryan used to be open about this. Yes, we want to cut these programs. We want to get rid of them. Why? Because these are the remnants of the New Deal and the Great Society. And they don't like the New Deal, and they don't like the Great Society. They don't like the war on poverty. They don't like any sort of program that's a government program that's universal in nature. They don't want any of that. They want the market to take its place. They want some Wall Street goons to take your retirement and invest it and then probably lose it. Because that's what would happen. Okay, so again, just to remind you guys, so it was an 11-point plan released by Rick Scott. Hey, this is what us Republicans are running on in the midterms. It was Everybody ripped it to shreds, including me. It was the most laughably stupid document I've ever seen in my life. Nothing on there was popular. Maybe there was one of 11 things that you could make a stretch of an argument it was popular. I mean, we're talking about, they even had a provision, you guys remember this? Where they said, the bottom 50% of Americans don't pay federal taxes, and they don't have any skin in the game, so we're going to make it so they do have skin in the game and make the tax code more fair by raising taxes on the bottom 50% of the country. They're openly arguing for raising taxes on the poorest people in the country with no money. He wanted to run on that. Even Mitch McConnell was like, Rick, these are the things we say behind closed doors. These are not the things that we run on, you jack weasel. What is wrong with you? So that was in Rick Scott's plan. Then, like I said, he had Ron Johnson's plan, also sunset Social Security, Medicare, a.k.a. get rid of it. And then you have plenty of Republicans who are out there. Here's a good one right here. On the left, Republican Senator Mike Lee feigns outrage during the State of the Union when President Biden suggests some Republicans want to cut Social Security and Medicare. On the right, Mike Lee says he wants to get rid of Social Security and Medicaid, Social Security, Medicare, and Medicaid. Okay, so here you go. Remember, on the left, we have his reaction when Biden says, this is what you want to do. On the right, he tells you what he wants to do.
It will be my objective to phase out Social Security,
nice.
To pull it up by the roots and get rid of it.
Here, here,
People who advise me politically always tell me that's dangerous, and I tell them, in that case, it's not worth my running. That's why I'm doing this, to get rid of that. Medicare and Medicaid are of the same sort and need to be pulled up. It will be.
This is what drives me so crazy about this debate, is the dishonesty. Is just flat. These people are being disingenuous. If your position is, we need to cut Social Security, or, you know, however you want to phrase it, raising the retirement age, cutting the payments, phasing out the program, sunsetting it, privatizing it. If that's your position, own it. Own it and argue for it. Don't run away from your own shadow because the zombie president accurately pointed out, hey man, this is what you want to do. You're supposed to go, I do, and let me explain to you why that's the right path. But they don't. They're such weasels. They're such weasels. I hate it. I hate it. I hate it. I would have so much more respect for them. They were like, yeah, we want to do that. Now we're going to tell you why we're right. They can't do it. They know it's a political loser, so they run away from their actual beliefs. Don't trust these people at all, man. Don't trust them at all. Wrong clip. I had one more for you. Anyway, apparently I didn't pull it up, but it was Matt Gaetz. He was on a podcast just recently saying, yeah, we have to cut these programs. It's what they're all in favor of. Don't let them gaslight you. Ever since Adpocalypse, when YouTube defunded all independent news and politics overnight, we haven't trusted them. We know they can pull the rug out from underneath us at any time. If you enjoy this content, please consider tipping $1 or $2 per month on the Secular Talk Patreon. Link in the video description box below. Thanks for your support.